I won't hold my breath, and best of luck to them if one chooses to stand up. They are enjoying their lowest approval rating ever because this is who they are trying to represent. These far-left activists who don't stand for anything. They only stand against Donald Trump, and they hate, as you just heard from that one individual who wished death upon the president of the United States, they not just hate him, they hate the nearly 80 million Americans who elected to vote him. The Democrats have officially become the party of crazy. President Trump and the Republicans are the party of common.
What happens when Karoline Leavitt scores an $800 million courtroom KO against The View, and Joe Rogan shows up with a verbal steel chair? Oh, just daytime TV, getting roasted harder than a Thanksgiving turkey at a UFC weigh-in. If you've ever wanted to see what happens when sass meets facts, and Joe Rogan turns gossip into gladiator combat, stick around, because this isn't just drama. It's primetime poetic justice, served Rogan style. Let's get messy.
The show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies.
The moment that verdict dropped, you could almost hear the sound of 1,000 coffee mugs shattering in slow motion across America. Karoline Leavitt didn't just win a lawsuit against The View, she vaporized them. And not in the usual, metaphorical Twitter ratio kind of way. No, this was $800 million worth of televised recklessness finally colliding with the brick wall of accountability. A legal atomic bomb detonated right in the middle of daytime television's glittery, gossip-fueled utopia.
Episode of you when you're on The View. You were running for president. You got introduced as our friend Donald.
You really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to. Please let's find out, and please welcome my friend.
Walters gives you a big, and you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working.
Red hat that says "Make America Great Again." Might as well just put a.
For years, The View's resident cackling chorus treated facts the way cats treat potted plants. Something to be knocked over for amusement. Political commentary? Please. It was more like emotional karaoke. Every weekday morning, millions tuned in to watch a panel of highly caffeinated pundits deliver their version of world events, spiced up with more drama than a Real Housewives reunion.
I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show? If the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
The
X.
Okay.
Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
But this time, they didn't just step in it. They cartwheeled into a legal minefield wearing fireworks as shoes. Karoline Leavitt, underestimated as usual by the self-righteous daytime hive mind, decided she'd had enough of being painted like a cartoon villain. The segments about her on The View didn't just stretch the truth. They put it through a medieval torture rack and made it scream for mercy.
Shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stopped looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, right. whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side. We're on the right side, and if it's our side that's saying this, for sure it's the right thing to do, and no one's critically.
This wasn't just defamation; it was defamation with glitter, jazz hands, and a clapping studio audience. Karoline Leavitt brought the legal equivalent of a nuclear winter to their sunny set. Her case was a masterclass in receipts, proving The View didn't just miss the facts; They dodged them like middle schoolers in dodgeball. The courtroom felt less like 12 angry men and more like 12 shocking moments of live TV karma. By the end, The View's legal team looked drained and dazed. Enter Joe Rogan, podcasting's philosopher king, who tore into the chaos with glee. He didn't just mock The View, he dismantled them like a roast master, laughing so hard he nearly dropped his elk jerky. To Rogan, the show wasn't political commentary. It was a group therapy session gone off the rails, where bad takes spread like mold in a damp basement.
The most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest fucking statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to what the wildlife out, and that's only a part of what he said.
I can't
the
believe
other
Joy
part of what he
Behar
said
didn't
was
weigh.
there was something before that where he was explaining encounters with giant reptiles. And then there's also, listen,
It doesn't make sense to me
There-
that a middle-aged woman could be dumb.
when you're worried about losing your job and
Yeah.
you're worried about podcasts taking over and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us and he won, and this is fucking great, and Joe Rogan believes in dragons. It's just frantic.
Joe Rogan's reaction wasn't surprising, it was pure vindication. He's been a target of The View's outrage before, and has called their credibility equal to a hungover magic 8-ball. So when Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit exploded, Joe treated it like justice served. He praised her like a warrior, and didn't stop at their credibility. He tore into the show's entire formula: fake outrage, echo chamber applause, and the illusion of debate. According to Joe, their political talk sounds like Wikipedia read by wine moms with grudges. Karoline's win didn't just dent their budget, it shattered their smugness. The View went from judge to judged, slow-roasted in public filings, and fed to the internet like viral content. And Joe, he was the chef, flambeing their downfall and serving it up as an all-you-can-laugh buffet, walking listeners through every bad take with the precision of a seasoned fight commentator.
Is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in, you know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her, and you know they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with the what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's just it's a bizarre show.
So we had 8 minutes, and America's approach to race, pretty big topic. Pretty important topic.
I think the way you
So-
just before you start, I think the
Yeah.
way you described it is brilliant, and the way we should all look at it. Of course, you're going to see race.
Yes.
The idea of being colorblind is ridiculous, but
Right.
treat everybody.
No one expected Karoline to hit this hard, but The View underestimated her like they underestimate nuance, facts, and their own shelf life. What they saw as an easy target turned out to be a legal firebomb. And this wasn't just a personal win for Karoline, it was a cultural earthquake. Daytime TV's illusion of authority, built on studio lights and scripted outrage, shattered with an $800 million bang.
They think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe.
To hire a spokesperson just so that Elon Musk doesn't put out tweets that then confuse federal workers.
Are my press briefings not good enough for you, Jackie? John.
Every chat show that's blurred the line between opinion and slander is sweating. Legal teams are suddenly asking, how many times did we call someone a threat to democracy? Karoline's case is now Exhibit A in future lawsuits. Meanwhile, the internet exploded. Memes, skits, and clips of The View's worst takes now set to dramatic violin music and courtroom sound effects. One viral post read, "She took their views and made them pay-per-view." And Joe Rogan, he's the oracle of this reckoning. Every line he dropped felt like a Mortal Kombat finishing move. He didn't just mock them, he narrated their collapse like a nature documentary on egos in free fall.
You get people thinking, like, if you could stop Hitler by any means necessary, wouldn't you stop Hitler? And so they equate Donald Trump with Hitler and go, here you go, this is our modern Hitler. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
On TV.
crazy.
She said it's
on television.
The View's empire crumbled when Karoline, backed by solid evidence and a fierce legal team, hit them with a lawsuit that cost $800 million. The once chatty show went silent. No comebacks, just PR panic. Behind the scenes, lawyers rewrote the script, and sponsors fled like it was on fire. What looked like confident commentary was really unchecked ego. They played judge and jury on air until they became the defendants. Viewership sank, memes soared, and Karoline became a symbol of media accountability. Joe Rogan, once criticized, now seems more open to real debate than The View's echo chamber. The message, gossip in a blazer isn't journalism. Karoline didn't just win. She set a precedent. Say it recklessly, and you'll pay dearly.